Director of Asian Development Bank, or ADB, for Indonesia, Jiro Tominaga, assessed that Indonesian economic prospects tend to be more positive and solid in comparison to the global or regional Asian economies. During the Capital Market Summit and Expo 2022 last week, Jiro said that Indonesia is on track for a solid economic recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. And he said, even though there's a risk of a global growth slowdown and inflation, Indonesia won't really be affected until early next year.
Indonesia has been on a solid recovery path from COVID-19 pandemic. The big uncertainty for Indonesia at the time of the previous projection in April was the potential surge of Omicron variant, the impact of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and the overall global economic volatility. Since then, as you know, COVID-19 has been more or less contained and the domestic demand remained robust. On the export front, strong demand for and high prices of Indonesian commodity exports boosted the export in value and volume. In the meantime, revenue windfall enabled larger subsidies and smaller deficit. So overall, Indonesia seems to have a strong momentum through the rest of 2022. There are downside risks in inflation and global growth, but they won't be really felt until early.
Asian Development Bank have increased their Indonesian economic growth projection for the year 2022 from 5% in the month of April 2022 to 5.4% in September 2022. On the other hand, for the year 2023, the economic growth projection is decreased from 5.2% to just 5%. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, have also decreased their Indonesian economic growth projection for the year 2023 from 5.2% to 5%. Indonesia's projection is still relatively higher than the global economic growth projection, which was decreased to 2.7% from 2.9% previously. Indonesia's projected economic growth at 5% is still relatively higher than most countries. Take the U.S., for example, with a projected economic growth of 1.1% in 2023, a drastic drop from 2.4% in 2022. And in the United Kingdom, the projected economic growth in 2023 is only 0.3%, which is significantly lower than the 2022 projection of 3.6%. And the European Union is projected to only grow 0.5% next year, from 3.1% in 2022. Germany and Italy, on the other hand, are predicted to contract in 2023 at 0.3% and 0.2%, respectively.